I just watched a video of Lucy Lemon, and it just amazed me because she was talking about being alone, and I have to reiterate some of the things she said, and I want to agree with a lot of stuff that she said. One of it is that I'll talk on my personal experience, and then I'll go forward from there. My personal experience is this: I was never really alone in my whole life. I grew up second child of four. My brother Daniel, the lion, many of you know or have experienced. And I grew up, and then we have two other siblings. And being a middle child, I just always was surrounded by my siblings or my parents. And so I was never alone, really. And so, although I experienced a great childhood and imagination, but I always had this low self-esteem. It's crazy because nobody noticed that about me. My mother even says that today. Because I was always outgoing. I was always wanting to be the center of attention and do things in part. But I was doing it for all the wrong reasons. I was doing it because I was seeking acceptance. I was seeking approval. I was seeking love from women, girls, whatever it may be. And I finally, kept traveling that road because it's programming, as Lucy said, and we all know, through school, through our parents. And our parents, I don't blame adults and our parents because they're programmed too, and we all follow these paths. And they're not enlightened, they're not open, they're not awake. But it took me, I just kept traveling this path. And I went in the Navy, and I still wasn't alone. I was always with other people, being in in barracks, with whether it be boot camp or my training, or special forces, or First Marine Con, or overseas fighting. It doesn't matter. I was always with somebody. I was never had barely any time alone. Married right after that. Met my ex in the military. Had children. I've never been alone. It wasn't until my crash, and when I say my crash is that I went through a bad period of time in my life where my father passed away, and I had already been kind of dabbling with cocaine and stuff, and I got into crack cocaine, and I just went over the board. But I needed that, and this is the truth. That addiction, that moment, I needed to experience that so that I could go all the way to the bottom. Because I want to show you guys something. I want you to look at this bracelet I have. It's not a big deal. I got it. It's a bill source. But one thing that really signifies is, see the little black band at the bottom, the little black bubble that has sand from the Black Sea, which is the lowest point that you can reach humanly possible. Okay. And then there's a white band on the top. You see that little white band? And that has water that is melted from the snow cap of Mount Everest. Okay? Now the thing is this, and that it just signifies one thing, and that's all. Sometimes you have to get to the lowest point to rise to the highest point. We live a life, I told you, in three-dimensional, a life of duality, a life of differentiation. You have to know fucking black to know white. You have to know fucking love to know hate. You have to know fucking the bottom to know the top. That's why we're here. Why our immortal souls have decided to come here and experience this, okay? But once you wake up and your eyes are open, which mine are and yours are too, when you wake up and you see it and you spend some time alone, thank you, Lucy, for mentioning that, and thank you, everyone who's ever been in that journey like me. You spend time alone, you start to not only question and search for the truth, but you also take time and investment in yourself to realize who you are and start to love yourself. And it took me that time to see all the wonderful, amazing things about me, who is Sean Michael Drake, who is the creator, who is part of God, who is a piece of God, a piece of whatever entity, the almighty, whatever you want to call it, a piece of something greater. It took me that time alone to really soak it in. I could see all the things that are amazing about me. And I started creating greater music. I started creating greater writing. I started transcending beyond what is this three-dimensional facade, the shenanigans of what they call life. And I decided at that point to always move forward, and I invested more in me than I have ever in my life. I love myself more than I love myself fully now. And because of that, my life has changed since then. And here's what I'm going to tell you. This is my big changes that have happened. I can prove it to you. I've always known I should move to Buffalo, New York. I was from there, but I lived here in Florida forever. And the minute I stepped foot back there to visit, I knew it was my place. I knew it. I could feel it. It just engulfed me, the feeling, the energy. I knew I would create something and go forward. And as soon as I awoke, I started going forward and invested in myself and loved myself. And then I went there, and then what happened was the most amazing thing. I met someone who just, the minute I was next to her, there was electricity, there was energy, there was this connection. And she's the one who gave me the Conference of the Birds to read, and that's when I opened up. And the thing I'm trying to tell you guys is this. The minute you have to love yourself completely wholly, you have to be everything of you before you can ever be greater for anything or anything else. Once you understand who you are, once you understand why you're here, once you understand your love for yourself, once you spend some time alone and really love yourself, only then can you let that love exude out of you, and you can live by love, which I keep reiterating. I keep saying, you can choose love or fear. And when you choose that love, it fills you, and it becomes a source of energy that surrounds you, it penetrates you, it flows through you, and it ignites through and out you. And others pick up on it, and you become this magnetic personality that others are drawn to you of the same thing. And you can help others not only wake up and find the path to their truth, because my truth and your truth is completely different, because our perceptions are different. And we're here to perceive it and emotionally experience it differently. But the truth is still the same, and we're all finding the same truth. And that's what I think is amazing about this. So once you have that, then and I found someone who is the perfect human, spiritual essence person for me. Someone who not only, it's not even about the fact that you don't have to believe the same, you just know it, you know that feeling. But I'm just trying to tell you, find time for yourself. Find that love for yourself, and then start finding the truth. Never believe. Take everything I say right now with a grain of salt. Take it as a catalyst, as a spark to investigate your own truth. Believe in you. Believe in that. And always move forward and find that truth in you. Don't believe me wholeheartedly. You know what I mean? Don't. Do your own work. Do your own growth. Do your own investigation. Do your own searching, do your own soul searching, do your own finding of truth. Find your own truth. My truth and your truth are similar but not the same. That's how the sun chases the moon. That's yin and yang, brothers and sisters. Similar but different at the same time. And that's the beauty. You got to find that balance to exist in this three-dimensional world and make the most of it so we can create something better when we finally do. And we will transcend and be moving beyond this. You know this. But love each other. Love yourself first. Love you. Be full of yourself, because you are the creator. Everything you do in this world, you create and destroy. You create everything. Don't blame anyone for anything. Everything that's happened is because of you. You fucking did it. You fucking did it, because I don't care what you think so-and-so did to you or they. Everything you do to yourself. Once you take responsibility and you find that love and you live by love, you can create and conquer and make anything happen. And you will always operate on a great system. My brothers and sisters, I want to leave you with one last thing. Choose love over fear, and you will always be guided towards the right center of north to Shambhala, which is where we're going, which is what will create and change heaven to earth for all, from our tent to include all and exclude none. I'm very serious. I love every one of you. Just guys, girls, boys, everyone. Just listen to me for just a second. Take a second. Invest in yourself, and then investigate and find your own truth. Don't believe anyone or anything, even me. Take everything I say. I told you to. I've been on here for almost 10 minutes, and I'm going to tell you this. It's worth this much to you. A lot to me, but take that, get it, and find your own truth. I love every single one of you. Much love. My love extends through my heart, through my soul, through my being, through the transgression and the transdimensionalness of everything. and all of us. I love every single one of you. I feel you every day, my brothers and sisters, because we grow